What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Sad Boy Slaps. It's Captain Mingo here from the Jersey Devils, and in today's video, I would like to show you my baby. I am a light player, and I 100% think that light will be meta next format once Seance comes out, because it's already cracked right now, honestly. If you'd like to join my Metazoo empire, don't forget to hit that link down below for my Instagram. I post everything in Metazoo community and all the updates. And if you'd like to ever play me or get some Metazoo dice, you can catch me at Drewby's in Corona, California. And without further ado, let's get into this profile. So we start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 11 light aura. I'm thinking about maybe bumping that up. This is a 47 card deck. I might bump it up to 48 and add 2 more light aura, but as of right now, we're running 11 and 2 holy gems, which is pretty nice. Next, we will get into the bread and butter of this deck. We've already seen it before, but it's light elementals. I am running 7 light elementals currently. I think they're must at 7. You always want to see one of these things in your opening hand. They are insane. And if you're just getting into Metazoo and you have no idea what these are, let me get into them. Put those right there. This aura page costs 1 to contract if you only control light pages. So we do only control light pages. So only light aura, only this. There's no other types mixed in. And then its power is create a stained glass token at 20 life points and 20 damage with fleet, and it's a light beastie, which is pretty nice because we have 7 of these. Once you get 3 of these out, it's kind of hard to come back, honestly. And it has an attack called Shine Bright. If this attack damages an opponent's caster, stained glass tokens you control gain +10/+10. Meaning we can boost our tokens up to a lot. There's a lot of games where I get my tokens up to 80 health, 80 attack, and that's pretty scary, honestly. And this is a control deck, I would say. You don't want to spam too much of these guys out. I mean, you can go aggro if you want, but I like to have a couple of these guys out, and then, well, you'll see when I get into the rest of it, because this isn't how light elementals play anymore. This is how they used to play, but... Next, we run 2 Weeping Black Angel. I really like this card because it does a lot. First of all, it's flying. On contract, we get to stop our opponent's powers until the end of their next turn, which is really good. So if your opponent has a frog, you can bring this out and then stops frog's power for 2 turns, which is pretty busted in my opinion. And it can attack spirits, which is pretty nice. And if it attacks a dark beastie, you destroy it. Yeah, at the end of the turn. So you end up just destroying whatever you want in the game, because you can use Headless Nun right here. Headless Nun has the power to turn beasties dark. So that combos really well with this. So these 2 together can take out anything. And if you have a cross, it does +10 damage, which is pretty nice. And this attack does +30 damage if a light page was damaged or destroyed this turn. So we can even boost up the attack, which is pretty nice. She's a spirit. I like to use this power once, and then, because we have to cut down her life to 20 if you turn something dark. So then once her life is down to 20, I will use my equips. Next, really underrated light card, honestly. I play 2 Foo Fighters. These things are amazing. They're flying, they have regen, and they have flash. If there's Christmas trees and Christmas lights in eyesight, all beasties recover 10 life points. And it has an attack with 10 and confuse. So I really like to use this guy to sack him and just confuse whatever we need to get to confuse. And that's pretty much it. We use him for that effect only. But he does have this neat effect where we can send him to the afterlife. And if we do, inflict all beasties with confusion at the end of the turn At the end of the next turn, remove confusion from all beasties. So we can use this as a stall stun card, but like I said, the way I play, I like to just use him to crash into something and confuse it. Next, we run one Sam Sinclair. He is my favorite card. So any page, well, this page is in the arena. Any page with Sam's in the name may be contracted for free. So that's pretty good. And then he has a power. He has fleet, by the way. He has a power where you can reveal a face down trap page, flip it face down, or reveal a page in your opponent's hand and then shuffle it back to the bottom of the deck, or just shuffle it in the deck, which is pretty nice. We like him for like a hand control, but we also like him for that Sam's effect because we do run a couple Sam's card. I can't wait until Seance comes out to make a Sam's deck fully. Next, we run one Dragon of Okanto Falls. He is good, but he is not that good anymore. In my opinion, 4-drop is just kind of a high price. I mean, I might bump him up to 2, but realistically, I like the Foo Fighters better because they have more utility. Okanto Falls is cool, but we're not playing any Terra, so he only has 40 with 3 burn. He doesn't really do anything else that's special. Next, we run one Falcon Lake UFO. This card is an amazing boss card. It's a mini board wipe if you're going against Spirit or Dark. Or you can even use a Chaos Potion, turn your opponent's Beasties Dark, or a Headless Nun, turn their Beasties Dark, and then use this to just machine gun whatever you need to. So, on contract, if you control less amount of Beasties in the arena, target opposing Beasties is dealt 10 damage for each light page you control. You may choose different targets each time. Reason why this is good is because we get to choose our targets. So we get to machine gun whatever we want because our light pages do count, our artifacts do count. It's only if we control the least amount of beasties. So that is a really, really nice effect. And of course, if you're going against Spirit or Dark, that's doing 30 per hit because it's a type bonus. Next, we will get into the spells. Let me move the beasties out of the way in aura. But yeah, oh, sorry about that. This deck is so fun to play with. It has so much potential. It's very control heavy. It can counter Frost and what else? It can counter Frost pretty well. And I feel like it can counter Water pretty well too. The only thing this deck really does struggle with is Fire, just because they can machine gun us away, but we do have a way to deal with Fire at the same time, so it's kind of 50-50. Next, we run 2 bookmarks for draw power. I'll just put these over here. 1 New Year's New Beginnings, and then 1 2nd year anniversary. The 2nd year anniversary is really good because you can use it on a power up red, FAC, which is our deck's weakness. You could run a void spell also because people do run 2 FACs. Yeah, just really any neutral spell, you could use it on their bookmark, and instead both of you just draw 2. Next, we are running Sam's EMP device. This is probably the most broken card in the entire game, in my opinion, because if you're playing competitive, the number one thing that will give you an edge in the game is information, and that's what this card gives you. So it's an artifact. You may fatigue Sam's EMF device to look through target caster's spellbook. That means their deck. You may reveal a spirit page from it, shuffle that page into the spellbook, and if you do, bookmark 1. If you do not, send this to the afterlife, and then the caster shuffles their hand. So this is good because we can use this without the spirit. Even if our opponent isn't running spirit, we get to look through our opponent's deck and see what they built. And to me, if you're playing a control deck like Light, that is the best thing you could do. You can see like, oh, do they have a dampen? Okay, they don't have a dampen. I could play spell heavy. You could see things like, oh, what's their boss monster? What kind of spells do they run? What should I be worried about? That's what this card is. This is a 4 of, by the way, but I only like it at 1. Once people do catch on, this is only 20 life, so you might want to run a Stone of Protection or something to protect your artifacts for 1 turn, so you can use that effect. But that, to me, nobody really knows it, so they don't really attack it, and then I get to pop that off and get all the information I want, especially in a control deck that's super crazy. Next is Banish. I really like Banish because we can contract this on our opposing caster's turn. Light really likes to play on our turn, which is what I like to say, but we can shuffle a card that our opponent controls to the bottom of the deck. This can be Terra, this could be, it can't be a page, or it can't be an aura page, but it can be a Terra, it can be a beastie, an artifact, whatever you need to go, you can send it to the bottom of the deck, and if it is a dark or spirit, you can just send it to the afterlife instead, which is pretty nice. But let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say they bring out a crab, and you don't have anything to get rid of crab. Well, you could just put crab on the bottom of their deck, and that's that. Next is the best card that Light has. It is... Sorry about that, my camera cut off. Next card is Sam's Trusty Baseball Bat, which is one of the best cards in the Light deck, honestly. You can equip this to target a beastie, and then that beastie gains text. You may use this power at any time an opposing caster contracts a spell of an aura cost 2 or less. Choose new targets for that spell, or destroy target token page. Once you equip this to, let's say, a Light Elemental or a Headless Nun, once you reduced its health down by 20, you can leave them to not attack and just leave them there to use this power whenever they want to use something. But let's say you're going against Ice, you can redirect Icy Path. Let's say you're going against Fire, you can redirect their Unholy Fire or Explosion. There's a lot of 2-drops that are really good that you'd want to negate or redirect, and that's what we use this for, and it's pretty freaking good, honestly. Next we run Time Machine, which is the second best Light card in my opinion, because the number 1 goal of this deck is we can win with our Light Elementals, so we just need to figure out how to protect them. So we can use this and equip it to a beastie with the aura cost 4 or less, and whenever that beastie is destroyed, we can send this to the afterlife instead, and then bring that beastie back into the arena fatigued. Or you could send this page to the afterlife, and that beastie gains its maximum HP again, which is pretty nice. But I like it for the other effect. Next is a pretty cool card. By the way, this Light deck really likes to run at 3. I don't know if you could tell, but there's a lot of 3-drops in this Light deck, so once we get to 3, then this deck can really run. The next 3-drop is Eye for an Eye. This is my answer to Quetz, honestly. You may contract this page at any time during combat. After combat has ended, you may deal the same amount of damage dealt during this combat by an opposing beastie to target beastie. So, if our opponent attacks us directly with a Quetz, we can redirect. We can do the same amount of damage back to their Quetz, or whatever attacks us, we can just do the same amount of damage back to that beastie, which is really nice. Next, I like to play Dwarf Star. This card, at first glance, isn't that good, but after playing it, I think it's a fantastic card. Arena. If there is a star-shaped necklace with an eyesight, stars is considered active, which is pretty cool because that'll boost our Okanto. We can use this power. It's a flying artifact, by the way. We can use this power to deal 30 damage to all beasties in the arena, inflict burn, and flash on to all beasties in the arena, send this page to the afterlife. So there's a cool combo that I do with this when I get out my, what is it called? The Falcon? Let me find it real fast. The UFO. So to bring him out to let us control the least amount of beasties, I will sometimes sacrifice a Headless Nun. I'll use its power to reduce its health down by 20, so it only has 20 left. and I'll use this power to destroy a couple light elementals and my headless nun, so that I control the least amount of light pages to bring this out, and then depending on how much aura, I can machine gun whatever I want to get rid of. So that's a cool combo with these two cards right here. This deck is really flowy. Next we run Power Up Red. Honestly, I like to play this as early as I can. I don't like to save Power Up Red for a situation. I like to just play it as soon as I get it, because Power Up Red can be countered pretty easy, so I'd rather not give my opponent the chance to get a card to counter it in their hand. That's just my personal opinion about it. And then one last card, Righteous Reckoning. This is our board wipe. This is what can help us win the game or turn the game around. It's really, really good, and it only works on fatigued beasties, but you do heal your opponent, but I don't care about that, honestly. And yeah, if you guys liked today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to stay up to date on all my videos. And until next time, guys, peace.